Hey guys, it's Maria, and today I'm going to be talking about the books that I'm excited to read for Nonfiction November. Also, I wanted to show you my new shirt, Let It Go. One of my friends got it for me, and I'm just super duper excited to wear it, so that's a thing. Alright, if you don't know what Nonfiction November it is an initiative by Olivet, A Book Olive, and Gemma at Nonfic Books to just get people to read more nonfiction. I love nonfiction. It's one of my favorites. So while I will read a couple of fiction books I have to finish up, and then one I picked up from the library that was on hold for me, most of what I read this month will be nonfiction. So again, I'm probably not going to get to all of these. The challenge words are home, love, substance, and scholarship. I think I can make a case for how any of these could fit into any of the categories, but we'll just go with it. First up, I'm going to, again, start a reread of Shalomistas. If you are not aware, I am doing a book club of this in November and December. It's called Bookish Shalom on Goodreads. If you want to look for our group, I will put a link below. It's written by Oshida Moore. This is my signed copy from her, just with a nice little note. She has become a great online friend. I'm just really excited about her book. She went through Katrina, was evacuated. She is a person who works for peace, wholehearted living, social justice issues, all the things that I love. And this book has lots of practical steps, and it just really inspired me to, again, look at more things I can do for justice in the world. So if you want to join up with our group, that would be great. It's a very, very fast read. So this, I split it into two halves, but it's not going to be very long. So it's about 100 pages a month, which isn't much to worry about. But I'm really excited to pick this one up. So this is my first one for November, and I will be leading that discussion over there. Next, I will start with the book that I had to stop filming about 3 times talking about Nonfiction November because just the cover makes me want to cry. It's Kim Fuk-Fan-Tee's Fire Road, The Napalm Girls' Journey Through the Horrors of War to Faith, Forgiveness, and Peace. Many of you probably recognize this photo from the Vietnam War, of the napalm bombs, and this little girl running away. This is her story. And it's called A Memoir of Hope. And I just... Anyway, anytime I can get a memoir of hope from somebody who's gone through something like this, I'm game. So next is another harrowing story. If you have heard of the movie Hacksaw Ridge, I really recommend it. This is the book, Redemption at Hacksaw Ridge, the gripping true story that inspired the movie. It's by Bhutan Herndon. And it's the story of Desmond Doss, who was a pacifist who served in the military, would not pick up a gun in, I think, World War II. And just how brave he was, as well as how much he gave. Just a person of a lot of substance and character. So that's in my substance word. And love. I think he had a lot of love. So I'm excited to read this. So. Next up is the easier read. Let's go to that. The Cartoon History of the Modern World by Larry Gonnock. Emily from Arg Schooling always raves about these, and I just thought it'd be fun to have on the table to just kind of peek through. So I'm going to say scholarship, although we live in the world, so I'll say home as well. Next up is Saving Italy by Robert Edsel, The Race to Rescue a Nation's Treasures from the Nazis. I always have been fascinated by World War II and some of the things that people did to try and help make things better, and art is super important to me. I feel like it embodies so much of the human spirit, and I'm really excited to hear what lengths people went to try and help save and protect the art of the world. So also the Michelangelo's David is on the front, so that's a big love for me. My mom and I actually went to Italy on my 16th birthday to see the David because it's just one of my favorites. So I'm gonna say love for this one. Although there's probably some scholarship, and there's people of substance that had to work hard to save it. So there you go. Next up is definitely a home one, although I'm hoping for some love in it. No Drama Discipline by Daniel Siegel and Tina Bryson. The whole brain way to calm the chaos and nurture your child's developing mind. Yes, I have an almost 3-year-old, and I'm going a little crazy about it. So this, along with several other books, are on my nightstand that I'm trying to slowly kind of figure out what our game plan is, because she's a lot different than her older brothers were. Next, and now for something completely different, Sex with Kings, 500 Years of Adultery, Power, Rivalry, and Revenge by Eleanor Herman. I know Olive has mentioned this book before, I think last year. I have no idea how it's going to be, if I'm going to stick with it or not. I just think it's really interesting. The women have not had power in a lot of ways, but one of the ways that people did try and angle to get a little bit more position is, yeah, Sex with Kings. I just read the second Outlander book, and just hearing her talk about the royalty and the people who had their mistresses and how to get favors for things, it just makes me think a lot more about this. So yes, I'm going to pick this one up. Next is a love one for me, although also home. Susan Cain's Quiet. My husband is an introvert. I've been meaning to read this for a very long time, just so I can understand him better. So that's why that's in there. 80 Days by Matthew Goodman, Nellie Bly, and Elizabeth Beslin's history-making race around the world. I'm going to say love and substance, because she's a person of substance and scholarship. Nellie Bly is one of my very favorite heroes since I was a little girl. And I've had this book on the shelf for so long. I love the cover. I have no idea why I haven't read this yet. It's time. Push Out, The Criminalization of Black Girls in Schools by Monique Morris. I don't know much about this other than it's about social justice issues, and that's my jam. So I'm excited to pick this up and really have my eyes opened a little bit more. I've always been very fascinated by race relations, and so this just makes sense to me. Then we have Make Just One Change, Teach Students to Ask Their Own Questions by Dan Rothstein and Lou Santana. I'm working really hard on trying to school my children well, and one of the things I've been working on is having them evaluate their own work and figure out what they could be doing better, and how they would rate themselves to see if there's something they would change. I want them to have their goals and their own questions for their work, and so I think this is along those lines. So yeah, hoping to pick it up. I took it off my mom's shelves, as well as this one I took off. Making Learning Whole, How 7 Principles of Teaching Can Transform Education by David Perkins. Again, just more education theory. I get really excited about that stuff. And finally, although who knows, this is like priority 1. Team of Rivals, Doris Kearns Goodwin. I will read this. I will. I don't know why I haven't read this, other than, yeah, I do know why, because it's this thick and I'm scared, and that's the only reason. That's a stupid reason. So I'm just going to make it a priority, put it on my coffee table, and read a little bit every night until I get it done, because it's ridiculous that I haven't read this. So anyway, that is what my plans are for Nonfiction November. Hopefully, I know I'll probably pick up more books. I'll probably drop some of these. This is my plan. We'll see how it goes. All right. I would love to know if you've read any of these, encouragement, anything. I would love to know more. So put that in the comments below, along with any links to your TBRs for Nonfiction November. If you, I don't know. Everybody's been doing them, and I'm behind on video watching, so I completely understand. I will talk to you all later. Have a great day / it's almost weekend. Bye.